fight while one player goes down low to try and take over the neutral. But regardless, though, if you lose the initial, you lose manpower, you're going to quickly find yourself behind and maybe even trying to battle against a domination that's coming through. So both teams better have their A game on, because if they don't, they're going to fall behind.
Now we see everybody roll out of spawn. Gonna be having that. We're gonna have a 3v2 in favor on the opposite side of the map, and it looks like one player, it's gonna be Nero, is actually going for a huge home-to-home flank, and they know he have it open, so now they're gonna have the 2-to-1 hill advantage, and they're gonna force the hand of the rest. Oh my God, this is gonna be a quick little Mr. Krabs play coming out, trying to get everybody to spring into action and catch somebody off guard and try to get a couple of extra early kills. The 1v1's one over in B. Hell's gonna win that first 1v1 with the up A over there at the home hill of RR. So Rated R, they fend off this initial push now. They've got to fend off at least one, maybe even two more players though from RR. Rated R has to stand stout here at the C hill if they want to win this first round.
This is going to be actually really tough for RR, because you also have Solar, who's on the opposite end, but player 5 breaks through Cellz. Heads up play is now going to alleviate that pressure that RR was giving to Rated R, and they are now having to go over and deal with Cellz. Good kill onto Nero. Can't get the second, but the job is done. Now Rated R is able to break free, but either way, RR is now threatening a domination once again. Rated R, that advantage they just had, has now gone to the wayside. Scavzy is going to be chunked, and RR takes a quick number 1.
And once again, that's what we talked about in the pregame. You saw how long it took for them to rotate around the map. And in that first round, from spawn to home hill, in that first round, you get 3 quick kills like that, man. It's going to feel like a small eternity. You're going to be praying that St. Peter's got a quick key to the gates of heaven, because he's going to have to let your ass back out. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you are caught in that spawn, basically. Now you just got to fly down the slaughterhouse trying to get back to your home.
And it was the slaughterhouse, man. Rated R, they were the ones leading the slaughterhouse, and the cattle was Rated R. So let's see if Double R can come through even bigger in this round. Hey, Rated R, let's see how well they adjust, right? That's going to be the biggest thing. Now, you notice Nero, look at him. He's already going down low. He might be on the flank, but he might not be able to catch up. Rated R is looking to push through straight into Double R, and it's being led by Pell. But that Lancer fire is unrelenting, and he can go nowhere. Drops down. He's out. Scavzy and Cellz last up, as Double R is already pushing into the home hill of Rated R once again.
That's 2 mid-round adjustments that RR has done that Rated R was not ready for. Rated R said, all right, you want to send somebody on the flank? Guess what? We're going to be ready for it. We're going to be set up, and we're just going to have somebody just push right into you. And they said, all right, we'll just not flank you. We'll bring him right back, bring the extra Lancer into the fight. We'll make sure you ain't got nowhere to go but home. And they've done it 2 rounds in a row. That is absolutely picture perfect by the side of RR. I mean, it was probably a minute and some change, and now 53 seconds. They're just getting better at this whole setup in this training grounds.
Oh, man, this is getting worrisome. You know, you have Rated R so close to being a pro league team. You could be so far away if Double R can come through with this victory. Granted, I'm not doing the math, but I mean, it is going to be more beneficial if Rated R does take this right and almost guarantees their spot. But regardless, though, Double R's looking good. They're looking a lot better than I thought they were going to. And if Rated R doesn't pick up the slack quickly, we could be looking at maybe a Gods versus Immortals rematch, right? Where it was a 5-0 victory on the first map. And that's exactly where Double R is going. It starts with this overlooked fight. Rated R has not been able to win it since. Yachty leading the pack. I have a lot of faith in him. He can slay out, but look at this audible already being thrown by Double R. They're not going to challenge Overlook as aggressively as they did before. What are they up to? They're actually just going straight into the blender from Yachty.
You're going to see Yachty up top. I want to see, we're going to go to Pell actually, and Pell's going to be caught here. Toxiq has that angle from the top heaven. He's going to be able to just continue to Lancer out and get his best ability to help his teammates just set up on that home hill. You're going to see the 2-to-1 hill advantage in favor of Rated R. But now you see the down come out. That's going to give them the chance to possibly clean it up if they can't get over there in time to revive, which they will. Good job. Now they've got the Overlook. The extra Lancer in the fight from the Overlook is going to save them for a moment. They're going to have to push up and get Cellz off this back cubby. Cellz goes for the blind fire over the top. Not going to be able to get it. Cellz has to get out very quickly, and he has to make sure that he doesn't die here in this next fight. Toxiq is going to be there. See Cellz actually coming through. Solar is actually going to be on the home hill and is going to be fighting for his life here momentarily. Cellz is off of respawn. And Taylor, I love you to death, and everybody, I love you at home. I have a small visitor in the office right now. My baby girl has opened the door and has decided she was going to join me on the broadcast.
Okay, oh, she's ready to cast, man. Hey, look into the future. She's going to be just like you, man, casting away. She's going to be a legend in the scene. And hopefully she'll love Gears just as much as you do. And I don't know if she's the good luck charm or not, but she might be. Rated R finally takes her out.
Hey, she's a big fan of Rated R. She told me before the match began, she said, that's why I'm going to sit down. She said, I love Yachty, all right? I remember back in the day when Yachty was on PDHM and they wore those light blue hoodies to Mexico City. He actually played with a world champion on that team and Handles, who then goes to Vanquish and wins a world championship. So that PDHM team from Mexico City, very underrated back in the day. But she comes in here, I don't know, I think she might think she's on camera. I don't think she knows she's not, because she sees the blue light on the webcam, so she's just chilling out. We come to round number 4 though. And 2-1. I know, she's on top of the world, man. She's loving life. 2-1. Rated R have to do the same thing. They've got to put that initial pressure onto RR. They did not fall victim to those traps. Rapidz is going to try to go to the overlook. Nobody is there to really challenge him, but they still get the cap off early enough to where Rapidz doesn't have a choice now. They have to find a fight. They have to find a fight that they can pick. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to probably see them try to rotate through the top or the bottom of the map, right underneath the overlook, and try to put some pressure on B. You can see player number 9, I believe that's Nero, trying to find his way around into that little cave area underneath the overlook. He's going to be inside the entrance, and they're going to force out toward Rapidz now. It's going to be a 2v1. Scavzy goes for the up A. There's the double shot down. Nero rotates over to the B hill, and that's where I thought the push would come from, and they have made it over there to get the G cap.
I am very surprised Double R, with 3 members at Overlook, did not decide to go for the OE. They allowed Rated R to set up defensively and shut them down. But like you said, the push on B is there, but quickly retake by Rated R. B will be locked in place as Double R now goes back to the drawing board to figure out where do they want to go. The shot is going to be out. That's going to put Pell down. Toxiq now, he smells blood in the water. He wants this finish, but he knows Cellz has the Lancer up top. So Pell's going to get dropped off. Toxiq now going for the decap. Does Cellz challenge this? He does not. It's going to stay put. Meanwhile, the overextension is there. Yachty looking at a couple members from Double R, but the shock is in place, shuts down the lane, and that's going to be an easy cap. 2-1 hill advantage still for Rated R.
Yachty now, he's going to bounce back. He's going to try to stay alive as long as he can here in the home hill of RR. Scavzy's going to go down as well. That's 2 quick deaths for Rated R. Rated R now has to play some defense. They've got to set up in a position where they can just hold off RR coming off a spawn. They got a 60-point lead. Pell's going to try to pick one off. He gets the first shot on, hits the second and the third, which finally gets the down and the kill. But that was just so long. If he had gotten that kill maybe on the second shot, the down on the second shot, he could have readjusted. Maybe he took the second fight. I think they have to mount up defense at home. Yachty's been picked off coming off a spawn. This is not good news for Rated R, Taylor. This is not good at all.
No, it's not. And Pell needs to win this 1v1. No, he doesn't. That's 4 down. And so close, it's so far away. Rated R will lose this round. And Double R will take the lead 3-1. It all fell apart. Colin, break it down for me, because it was looking so good for Rated R.
Rated R, it's one of those things where they didn't have to take the fight at home. Once again, we saw a little bit of overzealousness. As soon as they got the recap there on the B hill, back off, roll out. You don't have to give up both of your lives. You don't even have to, you can only give up one, roll all the way back to the overlook, and force them to kind of come slowly toward the B hill. Be cautious, maybe even send somebody to the overlook to take that next 1v1. Instead, they have free reign. They send somebody to the overlook, they send 2 people straight over to the B hill. They have the numbers advantage, and they have the crossing lane. And one of the things that I cannot stress enough, I'm trying to see who is player number 9. If it's Nero, I'm going to be so pleased with my early game prediction that he was going to be a difference maker. And look who it is. Player number 9, Nero, snuck over to the home hill side of Monument, but never actually went into the home hill. So they had no information coming off the spawn. Scavzy tried to push up to get into a crossing lane, and Nero had a free 11 shots to get down, the out, and the kill, and then apply the pressure to the home hill. It was absolutely perfect.
Big swing round here coming into the second half, and Rated R, it's a must win. They cannot go down 4-1. They've got to try and bring this back, and it starts here in round number 4. or round number 5. But Pale going off, holding his own. That's important. 2 players drop off from Double R. Toxiq, as well as his other member, are going to be up ahead, and Pale is now going to be able to call them out. Meanwhile, the Rated R does have the lead. It's all about defense from this point forward. Where is Double R going to send their numbers? 4 now up for that roster, and it looks as if they're starting to inch their way closer towards East. Cellz is going to call this out. He's now going to call the Cavalry from Rated R to come back. You got player 2 is going to be down low. It's going to be Yachty's going to be the Lancer out and help out Cellz whenever they do decide to push in. Actually, he's already dropped on. Of course, he'll be picked back up. This is a must hold here. If they can hold this push versus Double R, they can take a decent sized lead, and then I think Double R is going to have at least 1, maybe 2 good pushes left, and then the round should go to Rated R. Let's find out how this push goes.
Solar has to flash out up top first, and then they have to flash the guy in the middle box. Yachty's going to have 3 shots in your back, but you can wolfpack Cellz. There's the first kill, just as I thought it would come. They'd flash out top overlook, take him down, and now they can reposition wherever they want and pretty much take these fights as they please. Full red, Yachty is now going to get pushed up on, goes to the up A. He's going to get taken down. Picture perfect retake by RR. Still down by about 70 points in this juncture, though. They're going to have to get a decap at the home hill of Rated R. Pell is mounted up. He's got, what, 3 more rounds in the clip of that Voltok. 2 shots will connect, but not enough to get the down. Pulls out the shotgun and goes for he goes for, I think he must have had slugs and not pellets in that tank, because he took a hell of a long shot with that Nasher out. Now he's got to defend against another player from RR. He's going to have that cubby corner. RR is going to push up there. That's going to be Rapidz. He's going to get taken down. Pell's, man with the plan, really putting his team on the back. Scavzy's with the break there at the E. They get that back in their favor, and this will be at least a 3-2 going into round number 6.
Yeah, and that's massive, Colin, right? Rated R needed to win that. It's a swing round. Still 1 down from tying it up. Regardless, though, that puts them 1 step forward, and it shows that they can win here on the second half. But it wasn't easy by any means. And at a certain point in time, Double R, if they win a couple of critical fights, man, it's all over with, and it's going to be 4-1. But hey, they held on. That's important. If they can win this training grounds, go into Foundation, they can win this series 2-0. I do strongly believe that. But this training grounds has proven to be a huge challenge for them, and I honestly have no idea how Exhibit is going to go for Rated R, if they're well-versed on that map or not. So there's a lot of uncertainties in this series, and if they can take training grounds, they'll be okay. Long shot is placed. We've seen a lot of long shot, especially in this 4v4 format, Colin, and it does make a difference. I mean, I think Exploits, right, from F&I, he's just lights out with it, dominates with the long shot, has the potential to change the course of a round just by the shots he's connecting. So I expect this long shot to have a huge impact.
We're going to have a big team fight over this long shot early in this round. Double shocks for both teams, 3v3 with the shot coming in over the top. So it's going to be very reminiscent of the old school fight over E. A lot of shocks are going to try to gather people up into a corner, maybe even get somebody caught out. Good route walkthrough by Rapidz to, I think, get it down. Yachty's going to get the pick, though. They're going to have a 2v1 in the back on Toxiq. They get another kill. Now they got the call out on Solar and the kill. No elimination domination at home for all of you keeping track. That's no longer in the game, so they can set up with a 2-1 hill advantage and the long shot, and they're going to have to play defense once again. And I kind of like how that sets up for this game. It forces you not to be able to kind of get a lucky kill, maybe even an extra kill off rip, and come away with an easy round win and just have people chalk it up because it's the first round of the second half. No, you gotta continue to play defense. You gotta continue to play out here. You're not gonna just win an initial. You gotta win an initial and a possibly second, maybe even a third fight. Pell, though, finds himself in a very dangerous position because of that retro. Maybe. Yo.
These 2 people are still alive from Double R. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Taylor. I'm pretty sure Kennedy wished that the guy on the grassy knoll had the same bullets in his sniper that Pell just had, because that hit you square in the head and didn't take you down.
Brother, these guys, they're tanks at this point in time, and Double R will take over the neutral, and they're well underway to now rotating back towards D. And Solar is going to be the man leading the charge for Double R. And that 1v1 versus Pell. From the back, though, is going to... Oh, and Pell picks off this 1v2. It's going to be huge. Now you got Cellz there for the trade, and the trade does come in, and that is huge. But given the fact, because Cellz was traded, now Double R is going to be able to take their own home hill. If that trade doesn't happen, Rated R is still fighting for it.
Yachty has to press across the top of the overlook. He has the positioning, but he's holding his side of the map. He's not pressuring the opposite side. They don't really have to. It's a 60-second round at this point where they can come away and tie it up 3-3. But my God, you've given them all the opportunity to get back in a position to pressure you. Now Yachty has a 2v1 up top. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and now he's down. Yeah, you've won the bottom side of the map. You've won the bottom hill, but now it's a 2v2 solidified over the E hill. Both sides of the E hill are going to be pressured up on. But thank God Pell is a human marksman. Like, thank God every shot he throws out finds somebody's body, because he is making light work and quick work at two members of RR. They get the neutral hill back, and this should be tied up 3-3 now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tied up 3-3 at this point. Double R, they're on their last leg. Coming off the respawn, you can already notice player 8 doesn't even want to move. He's like, why should I? Hey, my KDA doesn't even matter at this point. So they're going to let it play it out. Rated R is going to reach 250, but this has been a big comeback. Again, they were down 3-1. Double R, they were playing lights out. They were dominating, but the fact that it's 3-3 here gives some, I think, added confidence, if you will, for Rated R. They're like, okay, now we can do this. We're warmed up. We're ready to go. As you said, the human marksman, Pell, 11-3. He's starting to play a lot more efficiently when it comes to the second half. And honestly, if that long shot connects, it actually kills, it would have been a lot easier to hold on. And I think that round would have went a lot smoother. So hopefully they'll have better luck with the shots coming in to round number 7. Either way, we do have those ensigns. Now that's going to be down below. I believe at least one person from the team is going to try and go for that, and then a retro is going to be half. So at this point in time, we are going to see Double R. They're going to have that retro halved out, and that's going to be hugely beneficial on a map such as this.
Oh man, please
Definitely with going forward, I want to... Everybody's going to come off a spawn again. We know that there's probably going to be another big team fight over the sniper. I like right here in the middle of the map, there's going to be a little 1v1 over those incendiary grenades. Based on how that goes, this could change the tide of this fight over the initial long shot E-hill. Right now, everybody's kind of stacked up and it's been delayed. And it looks like RR has taken the positioning inside that cubby to try to get those incendiaries. So while this is stalemated out, the big fight is happening over the incendiaries underneath the map. You can see Solar trying to go for the quick pick, and he does get him off. So even if he dies now, and he wins the fight, never mind. He's going to be able to flank out and help get these kills and solidify this E-hill.
Wow.
That's going to help them easily win this first fight over the long shot and set up.
That's the round. That has to be the round. I mean, Rated R at this point, they're going to be fighting against a wall of Double R players, and it's going to take some heroics, especially with the long shot being over there. That's a great instant. That's going to shut down that lane, and you can wrap it up, chalk it up. That's actually a second one comes out to and connects on the bell. Regardless, though, that was a beautiful series of events. Fight, as you said, the catalyst, the straw that broke the camel's back. Solar winning that instant. That shot was beautiful, and then that gave the rest of the confidence for Double R to win that up top fight, and then it was lights out. 4-3. This is Double R's opportunity to take a 1-0 lead in this series.
And they're one round away from doing it. Cellz hovering over the shock. You got to go with the double blocks. You can't give them the shock to come in this initial fight. Once again, you're probably going to see the same thing. 3v3 at the long shot with the 1v1 there at the incendiary. If you're Rated R and you've got to win back-to-back rounds against RR, and the way that RR has kind of played these initials, you might have to throw a wrench into the game plan. You might have to try something. Meanwhile, Rated R is going to have the right hand coming into that first initial incendiary fight. You're going to see Pell roll back. He's a little hurt, though. Cellz has it down. Pell's down. Cellz will have the incendiary this time. Great shot by Yachty. What a catch, baby. A man with bass fishing and came away with a 20-pounder.
And now they're in the same situation. Rated R, they should be able to take this round. Double R is going to be coming up the respawn. No, it's over with, right? I mean, at this point in time, they're just a little bit too far away. And I can't believe that round ends almost identically to the previous round. About 20 seconds quicker. But for Yachty, man, you better be buying him a steak dinner, especially if you win this map here, because he just popped off and made it happen for Rated R.
One of the things that, I mean, both teams, this next round is going to be very pivotal for the team of RR because they have the right hand coming into that incendiary fight. So you see the 60 seconds there for the side. Oh, they're hovering over their own 60. I was going to say, I don't think you know that that's... Where are we going with this? Come on, buddy.
You know, hey man, you know they just like to waste time. Okay.
I don't know what
Keep
more
us guessing.
I don't know what more you could be talking about. You got right-handed overlook. You know you're gonna send somebody close quarters to that incendiary fight. What I need to see RR do is be able to convert that kill on Pell. Yachty comes in like Superman and saves the day back there at the back of the U. Pell's going to take that initial box, and there's the wrench. This is what RR has done all game long to win these rounds. They have changed something. Maybe it be minuscule or minor in the initial, but they continuously change something, and the bouncing from Scavzy keeps 2 people on skates. Got him absolutely lost in the sauce, and these 3 kills come through. That leaves 1 player left alive. That's going to be Solar, and he's going to have to try to get downs or kills here to just prolong the round for his team.
The long shot is now gone. I don't think it's on the ground. I believe it was, in fact, backpack. Solar will fall. Good isolation in that 2v1, but not wasting any time. Double R immediately going for the pressure onto the neutral. They want to win this fight. Yachty's going to pick up that fresh shock, and he's immediately now going to head over towards E to try and assist his team and at least shut down a lane of attack, and that's going to be a great placement. So that choke point is now gone, but more importantly, player 8, that's going to be Toxiq. He's now isolated, I believe, on you, and this should be an easy pickup. I say that we see players pop off, but not going to be the case here. So now with that pressure alleviated, Double R, they've got to wait. Solar down in a clutch position. He's got out of this before, but now he's got the instant. He will be able to get away, but how much of an impact is that instant really going to have at this point in time? Radar, they've got a good size lead call in. They just got to hold on to it.
Solar's putting himself a little too close to the fight for my care. If they can call out where these players are, there's a couple of sneaky little angles that they can throw these incendiaries from to try to get these kills. They throw the shock out. They caught Scavzy at that back box. Both incins are out. Yachty's going to be only about half red, but he's going to take cover, and now Scavzy's going to push up. They have the flank here. They wasted 3 different utility grenades in this fight, and this looks like it has to be Rated R's round. They've crossed the 200-point threshold. We're down to 20 seconds. There is a 1v1 at the opposite side of the map for the home hill of RR, but with these kills getting cleaned up, I believe Rated R, they're going to shut this one down. They take the 1-0 lead, and no matter what RR threw at them, no matter how many wrenches they put in the game plan, Rated R just a little too strong and a little too good, not wasting their utilities in this map #1. They win it 5-4.
Yeah, good job from a couple of key players there. You know, first it was Pell popping off, right? He was doing exactly what he needed to do for Rated R, and that was earlier in the rounds. Unfortunate he doesn't connect. Well, he does connect on the snipers. They did win that round regardless, though. But what I do like the fact is that Yachty popped off as well as he did, right? This series, or excuse me, this map could have already been done and dusted if it wasn't for Yachty pulling up and pulling off that heroic 2-piece, right? That's what really saved that round for them to send it to a round #9. But overall, great job from Rated R. It wasn't easy, though. It really was not easy. And that shows me tells me 2 potential things, right? Either Double R is a solid roster, a solid team that is a true competition to take over a Pro League spot, or Rated R is maybe a little bit, I don't know, how do you say it? Kind of like what Elevate was, right? Whenever Elevate was trying to qualify for split #1, much hyped up. Everybody was excited to watch them, but they struggled and they always had close series. But that's only one map, though, and a map that I haven't watched them play as of yet, so I can't really tell the full story yet. Foundation's going to really answer that. But, I mean, I don't know if I'm more impressed by Rated R getting the victory or if I'm more impressed by Double R keeping it as close as they did.
I think what you should be able to take away from that map, I think you should be more impressed with RR keeping it as close as they did and going up and taking it to a round 9. And the reason I say that is RR to me did something in that map #1 that you don't see a lot of pro teams do, that you don't see a lot of top tier teams do. And it actually makes me like them that much more as a squad. First round, they said, we're going to do something you probably haven't seen. And Rated R didn't have an answer for it. They lose round #1. They go down 1-0. Second round, you think you know what we're going to do, so we're going to change 1 out of 4 players. We're going to change 25% of our initial game plan. Rated R didn't have an answer for it. They go down 2-0. RR then goes back to base. They try to match Rated R. They say, all right, we're going to play exactly like you play, and we're going to see who comes out on top. And they lose, so now it's 2-1. RR then changes the strat again, and they go into the half with a commanding lead. So RR, to me, that's what they've got to do. They've got to just keep throwing curveballs. They got to act like a good pitcher and say, I got 6 or 7 pitches I could throw at you. I'm never going to let you see the fastball down the middle that you want to see, because the second half of that map, whenever they tried to match Rated R for that long shot and they played that kind of standardized Gears fight, they got embarrassed in a lot of situations. They kept having it blow up in their face. So Rated R, a lot more talent on that team, is able to play that standardized Gears 5 fight and come out on top. RR, they got to have the wrenches, man. They got to be plumbers for this entire second map. They want to tie it up.
Yeah, this is going to be the hardest one, I think, in this series overall. As I've said before, Foundation, close map between F&I and Rated R just last week in week number 2 of the Pro League qualifiers for Split 2. So I do have a lot of faith that Rated R is going to play Foundation much better and much more efficiently than that of Training Grounds. As we know, when new maps are added in, I said, well, new old maps are added in into the competitive rotation, much like we saw in the last split. These challenger teams, these Pro League qualifier teams, rather, they get a lot of reps on those maps, right? These are the maps that they want to come in and kind of have the leg up, if you will. And majority of the time, they do have a leg up on the newer maps, especially when they do go against the Pro League teams who may not have been scrimming on them as much, may not be as used to them as they once were. So regardless, though, it's going to be a true test for Double R. But again, I'm very impressed by them. You mentioned, though, in those couple of critical team fights for the long shot, they got outplayed. But overall, I think Team R's teamwork was pretty solid. And if it wasn't for heroics on the side of Rated R, like, again, Yachty popping off or Pell popping off, Double R easily could have won that. Like, it came down to Yachty or Pell popping off. They don't do that, they lose Training Grounds without a doubt.
They do lose it without a doubt, but that goes back to just Rated R. RR has to put themselves in different positions. When you give them a fight they're used to, Yachty and Pell played those positions hundreds, if not thousands of times throughout season 1 on Training Grounds, on big stage, under bright lights. They were on top teams having to make those same plays. You cannot keep giving them those kinds of opportunities. The rounds that RR won were rounds where they showed Rated R things they're not used to. You cannot give talented players things they're used to. If you know that hitter's favorite pitch is low and away, you better never throw him low and away. You better keep him jammed up inside, maybe even throw a curveball or two in there. And that's what RR has to do going forward. If they keep giving Rated R looks that they're used to or that they've seen before, they are going to lose Foundation. And that's going to be hard to do on Foundation, because everybody and their mama's been playing this map for God knows how long now. I mean, it's only been in 2 games, but it feels like about 5 years, and we've seen it about 5 trillion times. So Foundation, to me, is going to be real hard to be able to throw a wrench into the game plan. But if you're RR, you got to do it. You got to figure out what it is, whether it's overload the statue, overload the cave, do something different, because Rated R has the talent, the skill to win those kinds of fights.
And I think the scariest thing that Rated R has going into Foundation is that ability to win those big 1v1s or those big 1v2s. That opens up a direct lane to go for the OE, to go in for the neutral, to even battle for the power weapon, right? How many times we're going to see for sure a torque bow or a long shot get placed, right? Not really a drop shot as much anymore, but we will see that power weapon. And in that situation, that's where Yachty, that's where Pell are going to exceed. And if they can get their hands on the long shot or the torque bow, they are going to be deadly to deal with. We already know F&I and High pretty much are a shoe-in for a pro spot. Gods, most likely a shoe-in as well. They're up there, but now we need to see who the 4th one is going to be. And in this case, we might be watching Rated R become a Pro League team as well by the end of tonight. But it comes down to this, and they need to win this map, or at least win map number 3 if they unfortunately lose this map. But Double R absolutely has within them to take this victory. Nero, I was impressed by him. Solar as well. Toxiq and Rapidz, come on, you've watched them so many times play. Let's see how it goes. Off the rip, though, Pell, he's looking to go for a challenge.
Pell had a 1v1 top streak. They rotated somebody over. Smart play by RR. And now they have the top streak to themselves. RR is going to push right on across. You can see how Rated R is trying to cover that by getting across the side of the Foundation and the Pistons and make the pressure come back to RR's home hill. But Solar, he did get 1 kill. So the fight comes out. Traded pretty evenly, Foundations and Fountains. The B hill will go in favor of Rated R. Meanwhile, Rated R has to come back off spawn and try to get 1, maybe even 2 kills. You're going to see them come away with a 2-to-1 hill advantage, and they're going to have to play defense, but with only 2 players up for RR, we're going to have a few more moments before we see anything really happen or break down. They're going to have to get all 4 up and formulate this next push.
Absolutely. Count those numbers and get that push where they want to. It looks like the neutral is be their main objective. So Cellz going to lead the charge. He does have help by Yachty. It's going to be a deadly duo to try and take over this positioning. And actually, I think Solar tried to slide in, doesn't see him, but Toxiq will get the pickup. No, they're both going to be dropped. So there's Yachty going big with the clap up top as well. He's feeling it. He knows he's in control. Rapidz is going to be angled out too. Now he's going to be in a tough spot. He's going to have to clutch up this moment, but he knows one player is going to be challenging him. That looks like it's going to be Scavzy to go in on him, but either way, the storyline is taking place on the A, and it's already being broken because we have Pell there, and now Double R, they've got to get control of their home hill.
Double R's fighting off from spawn here, and what they're going to do is push this 2v1 here onto Pell. They're going to try to push him out of the spawn. They're going to get him over to the statue, but Pell has teammate help over the top. Toxiq, full red, gets one more bullet put into him from the Lancer. Great job to get that kill there, and they continue to have the Sharks surrounding the home hill of RR. Nero's going to be caught on that box. He's going to be taken down. Going to be up to Rapidz, trying to bounce into the hill. That's going to be too little, too late. Round number 1 in favor of Rated R.
Yeah, well done from Rated R. They were in control for the majority of that round. Pretty only one good moment, I guess, to take away from that round number 1 from the boys of Double R was the fact that Pell goes for the overextension, right? He was in that 1v1 on streets, but then, of course, the numbers ended up being allocated to take him down, so he couldn't do any more damage. And maybe there was a silver lining in that, but regardless, though, it came down to that Pistons push, and who was it? I believe it was Yachty who was able to go big, get those 2 players down, get the finish. So good on him for holding his own there, despite Cellz ended up falling a little bit earlier than that. Yachty held down Pistons, held down the neutral, and that opened up a plethora of opportunities, right, for the boys on Rated R to continually push up for the domination. So, hey, let's get round number 2 underway. And I want to see if Pell's going to be up to his old shenanigans. Is he going to be going for that overextension by himself? Well, he is on streets, and he might be doing so. Let's see it.
Pell's going to go for the flash out. He's going to get the stun there on the Rapidz. No, he's not. He didn't get the stun. The flash just a little too far away. Rapidz with a quick switch over to the snub finishes him off, and now Rapidz will have the window and the easy flank there onto Yachty. Yachty has to go into hiding now, and this will be where the fight breaks out. Solar's going to try to push up and get any kind of angle. There's the shots off from Yachty from the top. Solar is going to be very hurt, but he's not going to go down. Meanwhile, a couple of fights break out everywhere else. 2v1 in the cave. We'll get the kill there for the side of RR. Meanwhile, Rated R has fought off from their home, sending 2 players across top street. Nero is going to, Solar's going to rotate all the way down around through the statue and try to figure out where the numbers are coming from and where he can pick up that next fight. They're going to get the call out. The Solar's going to have to run. He's going to have to go right back down into that closed area of the map. Yachty knows that they're coming off of respawn as well, so they have to pick him off. They've got to try to bully out one of these fights. They cannot let the rest of RR pick and choose where they go around the map. You can see the flash will come out now. Rapidz is going to flash right back. He's not even stunned. Easy shots. There goes the second flash and the stun. They're going to push him all the way back. Toxiq, Rapidz here trying to play defense in their home. I believe they got a 5th person in the or 3rd person in the area. No, 2v3. 2v3 here at the home. They've got to make quick work of these 2 players without losing any health in order to stay stabilized, because the 2v1 has been lost at the home hill of Rated R as well.
Yeah, and you notice that that was actually Cellz trying to hold his own in that situation, but maybe there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Rated R is going to be getting the break on the neutral. Both players are going to drop in mid. Now it's a matter of what team can get there fast enough to get the pickups. Well, it is going to be Rated R, and B is going to be locked in. Matter of fact, they're going to be on A as well. So they're going to be right back in the saddle. They've got a little bit of a deficit, right? They got a little bit of a hill to climb, but it's not too far gone at this point in time. So they're going to be okay, and I believe the win condition should shift back into their favor, and it does. So Double R, still a lot of work to be done. Got to force a hill here.
Toxiq's gonna flash out, try to get Yachty stunned. Yachty backs off the cover and takes it right back in time in order to not get stunned, but the full spread from Toxiq gets the down, and now what he has to do is push up quickly. They have to get this next down here on Scavzy. Goes to the back A over the top, but Scavzy's gonna get that first down. There's the cleanup. Now Nero is gonna have to signal for help. Here comes the second player. It's gonna be Rapidz trying to push up on Scavzy. Scavzy goes for the up A, but gets taken down by Rapidz. Home hill, meanwhile, will stay in favor of Rated R. They're gonna go for the home-to-home stretch, and Pell, sneaky beaver, baby, picks up an easy grab there onto Nero, and now they have the pinch here on Rapidz. That's going to threaten the triple cap domination, and that's going to put Rated R right back in the driver's seat of this round.
Absolutely, right? So now they got C is going to be regathered by Double R, but I don't think that's going to be enough as Radar still has that 2-to-1 hill advantage. And as the cap does come through from Double R, Swarm still wins in 35 seconds. So at this point in time, Double R knows they've got to get aggressive, they got to get desperate, and they have to push in onto A. Scavzy better be calling this out. For Rated R, they need to make a move, reallocate. They cannot afford this hill to get neutralized, but I don't think they have a choice yet. Scavzy trying to go heroic, can't do it. He's going to be shut down, and I think Rated R might be in a very bad spot here. Double R now getting the break onto B. You have player 8 who just fell. That's 3 gone. Cellz also out of the way, and Double R will take round number 2. It was a long one though, Colin.
Very long, 3 minutes, 31 seconds, but RR finds a way to come away with that first round under the belt in the second map. And it really comes off the back of a very good initial by them. They had 2 different fights go their way. One of them with Rapidz not getting stunned up top after the flashbang, winning that first fight and then getting the cross angle out. And they spent a lot of time in a 2-to-1 hill advantage, forcing Rated R to kind of rotate around the map in a very odd way, not in a unique way, but an odd way, where they had to try to find a fight that might go in their favor. Back and forth to the bitter end, but RR, good job by them to really win that initial. Sometimes we underestimate how important initials are, and in that scenario with that extra point advantage, it comes back to really save them late in the round.
Really important on this map, I think, right? Whenever it does come to the initial, you can set yourself up very, very well. At this point in time, both teams just going to Lancer out, but player 4 will drop. He'll get picked back up, but that's going to give the opportunity for Yachty now to skirt inside onto B, along with his team, or teammate of Cellz. So Rated R will win the initial for all intents and purposes. However, the battle isn't just over yet, as C was going to be messed around with, but a good reaction, a good Lancer fire from Pell and Scavzy. Rapidz will drop. So that's now going to hurt the chances of Double R for pushing forward. They're going to have to wait, formulate another plan. But it looks as if, Colin, based on their position on the map, I think they're still going to commit to C.
I want to see 2-to-1 hill. Yeah, they've got 2 people trying to go cross top street. Nero with that retro is going to be able to do a lot of damage, and he's going to be able to put in a lot of work here. And he's looking for this last player. Yachty is actually just hiding. Nero gets the call out, though. He knows that he's there. They're going to try to cross him down. They get the kill on Yachty. That's going to open them up to triple cap domination, because there's a 2v1 at the bottom of cave, and it's going to be won by RR, and RR looks to shut this one down quick, fast, and in a hurry. They've got 1 second to go, and they make it in time. Pell, just too little, too late. Now they're down 2-to-1. And ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a ball game here on map number 2.
And that's why that retro, right? You can't sleep on it. It's incredibly powerful, especially if you're pushing through streets, going from home hill to home hill. But regardless, though, that made all the difference in the world. And good job from Nero for playing that so very well, along with, or excuse me, Solar, I believe it was, playing that so very well. Boltox are going to be down, and I believe on the other end, Talon, now that's going to be the retro. So all evened up, it seems. We got Boltox for both, as well as the retro. So now it's an even playing field, and we'll see if that retro will help Rated R, much like it helped Double R just a round before. But hey, this is the final round of the first half. Let's see how it goes.
See where they're going to bounce out toward those home hills. They've already pre-capped. They're going to pick up all these utility weapons around the map, and then the fights are going to break out. You saw a lot of Lancer angles come out, but not really a lot of damage coming forth and coming forward. Pell now, top street, Rapidz across from him. This is a fight that's been very pivotal. Whoever wins this has really been able to put the pressure on the opposite side of the map. But it looks like Rated R is trying to move themselves into a better position. They've got a 2v1 into the cave here and shortly, but it looks like they're going to have that first down out onto Yachty. And Toxiq is going to go for the rotation, but he's going to get down. Cellz bottom cave is just continuing to put out damage. The great turnaround by Cellz will trade out 1 kill. They've still got a player down here in Yachty. Yachty's going to get clean. He's going to get picked up by, I think that's Scavzy, who comes in from that top ramp. They're going to get the pickup, and they might be able to win this fight. Down here at the cave, everybody's saved. The only player to die for Rated R was Pell in that top street.
Wow, that was a fight that absolutely should have gone to the way of Double R. But hey, Rated R pulled up big, got the pickups, but the work's not over yet. Double R is already in their grill, ready to fight them, and they're going to be 3 strong versus the 2 from Rated R. So at this point in time, Yachty, as well as Cellz, they're going to back off. They know this fight, it's just a little bit too much for them to take. Cellz tries to stick it, but now is he going to get Lancered out? He will not. He is, in fact, going to stay up. But you do have player number 9 who's on the overextension, but I think they're going to go ahead and challenge challenge out Rapidz. They want to take him down, isolate him, get him out of there. And I think they want to worry now about Double R's overall overextension. And if they can shut that down, they could be in a good position here. Double R could be in a little bit of trouble here. Now player 2's the only one up, and it's a short walk over to B.
You're going to see him try to push across here. Back statue. Solar has to make something happen. He's going to take this first fight, gets the 2-shot down and the kill. The triple cap domination is interrupted, and now it's a 4v3 in favor of RR. Rated R puts themselves in, once again, a hero ball position. You let somebody play out by themselves. It's taken down, and it puts Rated R, the rest of Rated R, into a bad position. Cellz is down now. He's going to get cleaned up here momentarily by Nero or any of his teammates. They wolf pack into B. And now Rated R has to back all the way up and either play defense on their home or try to play offensively across top street. Pell pushes up with nobody in his back pocket and gets cleaned up. Scavzy is going to go down next. They're falling to pieces one after the next. Ladies and gentlemen, this is textbook what you cannot do. You cannot continue to take fights solo. You cannot continue to get lancered out and get fall victim to the wolf pack of your opponents. And RR are going to take a 3-1 lead. Rated R, they don't have a snowball's chance in hell right now to come away with this with a round victory. I'm sorry, it's over. Chalked it up 3-1 in favor of RR.
And that's so unfortunate. What a waste, right? To play that round so well, to have her down in Pistons, only to lose it because of some loose pushes. Pell, that's not the first time that he has tried to challenge fights by himself, right? Go even back to round number 1 on Streets, whenever he ended up going into a 1v3. Granted, that was because Double R ended up rotating some members over. They did win that round 1, but Pell was starting to get a little bit overzealous with these fights and needs to start playing with the team. Doesn't come down to just him, it's the rest of the roster too, but either way, Pell is easily to bully at this point because he's the one who's pushing up by himself the most. This is a map that they should not be losing, but hey, here we are. Granted, it's been around forever, as you mentioned before, so Double R, they're going back to their default setups. They all know how to play it. This is going to be a true turning point, right? This is exactly the same spot Rated R was in when we were on Training Grounds. They were down 3-1 before they came back and won it in round number 9. But again, Double R continues to challenge Rated R, and they are struggling to adjust to him.
I want to see. Yachty's going to push up here. He goes for the wide angle. Beautiful job by Yachty to know how much damage he puts out. He could have put himself in a much worse position. Cellz cleans up Toxiq. Home-to-home stretch we will go for Rated R. Rapidz is going to get rid of that, or he's going to see that first incendiary and dodge it very perfectly, and he's going to continue to be in this 1v1 against Pell. Eventually gets the down, but they're going to go for the triple cap domination. It's going to be up to Nero to try to roll in and get that decap. He gets into the hill just in time. There's the meat shield. It's going to fill back up momentarily. Toxiq is down there now, and they get the decap just in time, which is going to prolong the round that much longer. Solar's going to push in. Another decap, another break of this hill, but Solar is full red. Push in. Double up A comes out, like it's an easy kill. Now Rapidz off the spawn, and this is the same filter we saw last round. Rated R is going to be able to continue to pad their stats because they're going to keep getting kills here. Toxiq doesn't make a miracle happen, but he ain't walking on water. 3-2. Rated R start to fight their way back.
Okay, so much the same way of Training Grounds. They win the swing round, speaking in regards to Rated R, and they put themselves back, not necessarily in a comfortable position, but a lot more comfortable than a 4-1 deficit. We'll see if they can continue that momentum pushing forward. Now, is this the chance where we get a long shot down? I don't think so. Both teams do not want to fall behind in the overall resource category, so the HAMMERBURST is going to be upgraded to an incendiary, and we'll have retros up top, incense down low. It's going to be beneficial for that fight onto statue. But hey, let's get into it. Round number 6, and if Rated R can take this, I think they're going to be in a good spot, much like they were on TG. It starts off this initial Yachty. We go ahead and Lancer out against Toxiq. Meanwhile, you do have that 1v1 on statue. It's going to be between player 8 and player 5, Pell and Rapidz. And that's going to be a big win as well. And it's going to give the opportunity for, I believe, these teammates down low for Rated R. If they want to assist and maybe retake or overtake E, they have a very good chance of doing so, but they're going to break out towards Pistons.
Solar, he's going to push down to this mid-cut area just to try to bait out some shots. They're going for the information gather. They're trying to get somebody to leave their position, try to get somebody to get shots on in the wrong area. Meanwhile, 2-1 hill advantage in favor of Rated R. Nero's going to get 2v1 down here. He's going to go down. Here comes the rotation, though. Toxiq is down here as well as Solar. And it looks like they're going to actually over-rotate, try to go for the home hill of Rated R, and try to put pressure on them from the opposite end of the map to try to make this just that much harder. That retro, though, my God, strong as ever. Getting the downs going up the hill, up the ramp. And we just traded out Home Hills, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we did. Still 2-1 in favor of Rated R, but Home Hills have been traded, so the pressure will come from the respawns of both teams. Try to get them back into this. Shots over onto Cellz. There's a good 2v1 onto him to get that kill. The double Lancer fire will come out. Solar gets left, though. Oh, God. Solar got abandoned by Toxiq. I almost feel bad for him. He pushed up, and Toxiq said, nah, man, I'm out. I'm out.
Hey, man, sometimes you know, you can lay down your life for the team, but sometimes you just know, look, I need to get out of here, brother. Look, this is all you, man. This was your idea in the first place, man. I was just following along. I had no idea what we were even doing. But at that point, Toxiq does get out, and now he's going to be locking down Stature, at least trying to attempt to lock it down. But the presence from Rated R is there. It is a 3v3, and depending on how this fight goes, I think it's going to put into motion for Rated R either to push for it or not, or Double R to push for it or not. And for Double R, they do have, it's going to be Solar down low who might challenge onto Yachty. That's going to be heroic 1v1, but the potential is there with E like slowly beginning or going to Double R. Actually, they just lose it. I thought it was going to go to them, but either way, though, Rated R is playing great defense. It's going to put themselves in a winning position. I don't think there's anything Double R can do to come back from this.
I'm not exactly sure what they can do either. Little execution there for everybody. Look, you got to let him know what you think just before he blows your brains out, okay? You saw a little, you saw him say, look, if you're going to shoot me, I'm going to let you know how I feel about you just before he decided to take the top half of it off. But 15 seconds to go. RR's chalking it up as well. They know that it's about to be tied up, and Rated R, they're starting that comeback. They're getting comfortable again. They're getting the fights that they want. That's a scary sight for RR fans.
Absolutely is, but regardless, though, I don't know if it's a second half thing, much like on TG, or just a longevity thing, maybe even just a reactionary thing. But it seems as if during that second half, much like before to this map, Rated R continues to get better and better at readjusting and just overall knowing what the enemy team is going to throw at them. So if they can win this next round, put themselves up 4-3, I'll have faith they can take this. But if Double R takes this next round, I don't know. I still have faith they can win this. I mean, honestly, they've been playing really well. It comes down to this, Colin.
There's the halftime on the retro for both teams, so you can see that that's coming in very handy for every single team so far tonight. Challengers has really taken advantage of that retro. When we come off a spawn here, what I really would like to see is I'd like to see somebody try to push into that mid-cut area sooner rather than later. And one of the ways that you can do that, and RR clear, there we go. We see the smokes out. I was gonna say, somebody can bring a smoke and actually push up a little bit quicker. You can block out the sight lines. They get the down there on Solar, because Solar tries to push through the smoke. They baited somebody through it, and that comes away with a kill, so now it's 4v3 on the map. That's a beautiful game plan. They have a down as well. Rapidz is gonna be capping up E, but he's gonna be very quickly pushed upon by two different players, but he turns and burns on Pell. Now he's got a 1v, but there's the Lancer fire across the map to help out. Go ahead and finish him off, get that hill back in your favor. There you go, big dog. I see you, baby.
And now Double R, Colin, they're going to be in a spot where they just got to get their numbers back, right? They don't have their full roster as of yet. Still waiting on Rapidz, who's sluggishly coming off the respawn. But either way, though, you do have Solar and Toxiq. You're going to be setting up for the retake onto Statue. And joining into the mix will be Nero, but that's not a good start as the player does drop. The Lancer fire is real, and Toxiq now, that's a second down. Only one more remains, but Solar can't slow. He has to push in. The smoke is down, and he's going for the decap.
Solar's actually going to try to push back to the backside of the statue. You see the lineup, 3v3 over here, and you can't really get into that hill and get that decap with 3 Lancers on you. So R is going to have to make a push here, whether it be with a flash or they're going to have to try to get across the top of the street to make something happen. See here, they're going to try to position the back of the statue, and I like what Rated R did. They immediately flipped the script. They said, look, you want to go back street? We're going to push top table. There's some downs. They're going to have a lot of damage out here and free angles straight down the alleyway, man. They're in a shooting gallery, but there's the rotation from Solar. He's going to try to come behind Pell, and there's the kills. They, again, need to convert those downs. You can't just get downs and not convert the kills, man. Every time we see that happen tonight, it comes back to bite the team in the butt.
100%, man. Getting those finishes is important. Solar with that retro, though, might be able to put in some damage. It's a big 1v1. If Scavzy can take down Solar, that gets rid of the retro, and we know how hard that retro can hit, and he wins it. So Solar is gone, but immediately traded out. Scavzy goes in for an elimination, not going to be able to get it. Pell is there for the 1v2, and he's going to be successful in taking it. Toxiq and Rapidz will fall. F is still in the hands of Rated R, but the win condition is still with Double R. So 7, Yachty, he's going for the OE. Nero Nero has to win this fight. But then again, Rated R is also on E as well. So you got a lot of fights going down, and Double R needs to win all of them.
Double R has to come away with a bunch of kills back to back to back. Yachty, little misroll out of him. They're going to get their home hill back, but they're still down by about 30 points in this one. And Rated R, they're going to be able to solidify this. You can't make it across the map to get the double decaps that you need if you're RR. So in 2 seconds, Rated R, once again, take a round count lead in a map where last map we saw it go 4-4 to round 9. This map, Rated R is 1 round away from a 2-0 victory. RR is 1 round away from another round 9 and a possibly second heartbreaking defeat on a map. So I really want to see how their composure is on this next round. Both teams are going to square up. Yachty is hovering over their own retro, upgrades it to a shock. I'm not sure how much I agree with that decision because of how influential the retro has been for your team so far. But they must have something in mind. They must know something I don't. I almost thought they'd go for the block and just say, look, we're going to take something away from you, maybe even the incendiary, and get that off the map and force the double block out from RR.
It's a big round for Rated R. I mean, this might put them this might make them a pro league team, much like Gods did whenever they won that 2-0 versus Immortals. So this is a big round for them to take, and I think they understand the pressure, at least the gravity of the situation. The pressure, however, could result in some catastrophic maybe errors. But you'd only hope that that doesn't happen. For Double R, though, there's still a chance. Oh, no. As I say that, Rapidz takes himself out. Pell just looks at him like, what you doing, brother? D&E locked in for Rated R. That's not a good start to this round.
That's heartbreaking for Rapidz, honestly. He has that little cheeky angle. He's trying to cut off the corner of the statue to force Pell to either go left or right. Ends up bouncing the incendiary directly back into his face. That's one of those situations where now the team just has to forget about it. You killed yourself, but move on. You got to wash that out real quickly. Everybody's back off a respawn. You've got to figure out where the push is going to go or where you're going to take this next fight. 3 people are going to go over to E, but they're not sending anybody through close, so we have basically the same setup as last time. You are going to try to over-rotate one side, and you're going to give up positioning to the opposite end. But look, this time Rated R, they're going to stack up. They say, look, if you're going to come at us, you're going to come straight at us. We're not going to give you any positioning. There's one flash. They're going to flash right back. They shock it out, actually, which doesn't allow them to push up. And they have a second shock to put in the hill, which is going to continue to prolong this. And the reason they have those 2 shocks is because RR put the shocks down at the neutral hill, so it spawns with 2. So there was technically 3 shock grenades on the map to be able to use. And now they have the positioning. No. They've got the Lancers. They've got the kills. They've got the hills. And I ain't no mastermind, but right now it looks like Earth is going to be taken over by the aliens if you're an RR fan.
I think at this point that might be the case. Rapidz will even fall, and player 8's going to go ahead and dip his toes into the water. The water's nice, and F has been decapped and might be fully capped, but of course RR will be there. But at this point in time, when you're down about 100 or so points and you're still fighting for your own home hill, you could be in trouble, or you are in trouble, I should say. But this is the final attempt. They've got, oh no, the shock, so well placed. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Cellz, he's just gonna Lancer out, and ladies and gentlemen, Rated R is gonna take this victory, as it does look to be the case. 5-3, 2-0, and Rated R will be in grand finals.
Rated R solidified not only their spot in grand finals, but I'm pretty sure this makes them one of the untouchables. They're one of the team that go forward and say, look, we're going to be a pro league team now. So you're going to see these names a heck of a lot more, I believe, in the near future. But ladies and gentlemen, the thing that I take away from that map more than anything is Rated R had their backs against the wall, and they relied on individual skill in a lot of scenarios. But when they had to come together and make something happen, they found themselves more often than not on the right end of history, where they found themselves lancering out for each other. They found themselves rotating around the map and getting shots onto opponents to win those fights. Big though. I don't want to bring it back up, but I feel absolutely terrible for Rapidz, because the way those first initial fights went with the extra Lancers into the fight, I thought RR was about to win that initial and be able to put the pressure onto Rated R. So right. I feel bad for Rapidz, but unbelievably happy for everybody over at Rated R.
Oh, 100% right. You know, the org is back. They took a risk once again. They're back into gears and pretty much all but solidified their spot as a pro league team. And that's going to be massive. This roster continue to improve. Do I think they're the strongest roster out there? I don't. I really don't. But do I think they have a lot of potential? Without question. If they can just manage to just kind of, you know, put that individual skill, those individual highlight plays that we're witnessing, and then overall encompass that into team play, man, they could be a deadly roster to go against. But it's still new. It's still very early when it comes to Split 2. So a lot of improvements still to come. And we are going to witness, I think, a pretty special thing from this Rated R roster. For Double R, they're a team that no one can sleep on. And I really hope the roster doesn't give up in this situation. Even if they don't, or even if they didn't qualify for the Pro League, I think there's still that they can, you know, continue to go through Challenger Series or continue to be a dominant team or a great team regardless. There's a lot of potential with them, so I don't want them to give up just yet, but they probably do need to find a new name. Let's be real. Just Double R isn't going to work, so something else needs to happen.
Something else does need to happen.